Mga kaibigan, mga kapipidi, mga ka-wrestling at mga ka-podcast, gusto niyo bang malaman kung paano kami nakikipag-collab sa mga brands in the MT Show podcast? We use Podmetrics, the easiest way to monetize your podcast. If meron kang podcast, sign up now at podmetrics.co and use my code DMTGShowPod to get full control on how you monetize your show regarding of its size. Again, sign up now at podmetrics.co and use my code DMTGShowPod. If you're an advertiser who wants to collab with us, head on over to advertiser.podmetrics.co and fill up the form. Again, Podmetrics, the easiest way to monetize your podcast. Welcome to your unfiltered Tagalog Wrestling Podcast. This is the MTG Show Podcast. Hey! Welcome to your unfiltered Tagalog Wrestling Podcast. Every week, this is the MT Show Podcast. So, ulit, maraming salamat sa lahat na nakikinig here in the podcast. And, hindi na ako mapapatagal. Masyado na ako excited. Kasi last weekend, sunod-sunod din, tangin na grabe. Yung Saturday is New Japan event, I think that's New Beginning. And then Sunday is the Royal Rumble. Tama ba? Monday, tama. So yun, first, bago ako magsimula dito, of course, check my Shopee link since tapos na rin naman ang tutu. Ayun, use my links, tinyurl.com/tmtgsp x Shopee PH2. Yun, binago ko yung link kasi alam mo. Fuck that shit. So, let's go, I-introduce ko na yung guest ko for this episode. Medyo random kasi ito eh. Sobrang random na tong seryoso. So, ladies and gentlemen, one half of East Side Beatdown.
East Side Beatdown.
Ipakinggan yung podcast nyo. So,
hindi episode. Yung episode, yung show lang namin.
Sige. So basically, one half of East Side Beatdown and one-fourth, tama ba? One-fourth of the Wrestling After Work. Papasok ko na si Dirb de Venencia. So,
Hi guys!
Ayun, so, kamusta?
Okay naman. Ang daming ang wrestling this past weekend. As in, sinabay ko pa sa meeting ko sa work.
Utas, di ba? Saturday. Imagine mo, Saturday, Sunday, and then today. Putang.
Well, ako pahinga ako ngayon kasi rekta work. Pero yung Saturday tsaka Monday yung grabe.
Utas. Pero tanungin mo na kita. Kamusta yung Royal Rumble?
Actually, okay siya. Magandang show siya for me. Solid siya, and compare mo last year ay mas nagustuhan ko yung Rumble as an event,
as a whole.
As a whole, mas gusto ko siya this year kasi mas consistent siya.
Ang problema lang naman this year siguro meron konting di ba? Yung mga konting matches na alam mo na.
Pero akin naman kasi mamaya pag sa review natin.
Sige, paliwanag na lang natin. So, para sa kaalaman nyo rin, mga di pa nakapanood ng Royal Rumble. First time nag-Royal Rumble na walang crowd. Wala ring kahit ano. Except ang hindi ko makalimutan dito sa event is using... Wait, man. First time ba ito na may performer? Ulit? Wait.
Hindi ko maalala, pero I think
First time to, I think.
anticipation na rin siya. O first time na siya na.
First time.
Kasi siguro iniisip nila, well, nasa stadium naman sila, pero hindi pa rin nila in-anticipate na ganito katagal yung ano.
Wala eh. Alam mo naman, ayoko mag-expect.
Pero ako gusto ko naman eh. Okay naman yung kanta sa
Okay
akin.
naman overall. So let's start So ganito nang gagawin natin Yung part 1 ng review, actually, is sa akin, sa amin dalawa to. And then yung next part sa akin na lang yun. So, one word tayo
Okay.
And then explanation.
Explanation.
Okay. Sige. In-adapt ko yun sa Geeky Ones Natatawa ako ng ideya
Oo, si Jude ata nakaisip nun.
Si Jude. Shoutout
Hindi ko
sa
sure to si
Geeky
Jude
Ones
o Steven, basta isa sa kanila.
Ewan ko. Hindi ko sure. Basta si Jude data. Ayun, shoutout sa Geeky Ones.
Shout out, guys.
So, let's start. Yung unahin natin is the kick-off show. First time ko mag-feature ng kick-off show here in the pod. Fun fact.
Weird, no? Isipin mo yung kick-off show. Sobrang, I mean, connected siya sa main show.
Yes.
Kasi may mangyayari mamaya. So,
Yes.
makes sense na rin.
First time ko na mag-feature dito. One word. Ikaw na mag-umpisa.
Ako, sufficient. Kasi, yung explanation kasi, alam na natin na hindi magtatagal yung tag belts kay Charlotte at kay Asuka. Tsaka, na push yung story ni Charlotte tsaka ni Lacey at ni Ric Flair.
Yes. Plus one yan.
Tsaka mas okay na rin na ang humawak is si Nia tsaka si Shayna.
Since sila yung tag team.
Sila yung odd couple na tag team that makes sense. Kasi si Asuka tsaka si Charlotte, they don't make sense talaga sa team. Although being them the Empress and the Queen, yun lang.
Parang random kasi Seriously.
Kasi isipin mo, kulang talaga sa female tag teams yung Raw.
Yes.
For me, na credible. Yung
Wala
starter
na
medyo mas sufficient pa eh.
Wala na credible
Well,
Wala man.
kasi wala na si Cross tsaka si
Alexa.
Bliss eh. Iba na yung trajectory nilang dalawa eh.
Wala na rin Iconics.
Mamaya, speaking of the Iconics, mamaya sa Rumble, may pupurihin ako.
Sige. Sa akin Waste. Literal. Dahil alam nyo naman, basically sa ganitong pre-show, we don't need pre-show matches Parang itong mga pre-show matches na to kasi, kain oras lang to. And we don't need these matches para lang mag-fill yung kick-off, basically. At saka, first time yun Charlotte Flair on the kick-off show. Asuka first time din, di ba?
Hindi, alam ko na kick-off na rin siya dati.
Naalala ko na. Si Charlotte talaga sure ko first time.
Pero it makes sense kung yung, sorry to interject.
Sige.
Pero akin kasi yung pre-show, it makes sense pag hindi mo na kaya talaga ipasok sa main show. For example, WrestleMania, it makes sense. Kasi ang daming matches talaga pag WrestleMania, lalo yung one
sa Rumble wala
Pero Rumble kasi,
wala.
Although sabihin na natin na yung Rumble talaga, kakain ng 2 oras yun. Both men and the women's combined.
First time na, 4 hours ulit.
So I think ito, although medyo way siya dahil dapat nasa main card siya.
na.
Pero pwede rin naman talaga tama kasi kakain din ng oras eh.
Oo. Pero ang downside ko lang talaga dito, kaya sinabi kong waste. I know they are building up a Lacey versus Charlotte. O kaya wait lang. Charlotte versus Asuka. Basta maalin lang sa dalawang match na yon. Pero feeling ko doon na tayo tutungo sa kay Lacey. Tapos ang mananalo kukunin yung tatay si Ric.
Actually, for me, it's time kasi na magkaroon ng feud sa WrestleMania na alam mo parang blood feud lang siya na non-title.
Ganun.
Kasi napapansin ko sa women's, it's either title match lang or yung women's tag. Pero I think with Mania being 2 days, hindi ko alam kung aware na yung mga tao doon.
Aware na sila
Na
siya.
inannounce siya na 2 days uli yung Mania this year. So, it makes sense kung plano na gawin 3 hours per episode, which is better
Ganun
than
din.
sitting through 7 hours of continuous wrestling. So,
Yes.
may time, may mabibigyan
May time
ng time.
sila, oo.
So, pwede magdagdag ng feud.
Baka nga gawin nila, 'di ba sa New Japan, they have 7 matches, 6 per yung Wrestle Kingdom 5 or 6.
6.
Baka gawin nila dito 8. Kasi alam mo naman, 5 minutes, 10 minutes matches.
Oh, mamaya. Kasi with yung sa New Japan kasi,
Sa New Japan kasi
yung second
mahaba.
day pa nga, alam ko 7 matches yun, pero yung
7.
dalawa, hindi televised, yung Stardom matches.
Yes,
So,
naalala ko yung Stardom.
so hindi naman siya pasok sa sa broadcast time nila.
Sige. So, yun na yun. Let's move on. So,
Ito na yung favorite match mo.
Favorite match ko? Yes! So, it's Drew McIntyre defending the WWE Championship versus the legendary, the undefeated. Joke lang. Goldberg. Ano? Ikaw muna.
Ako?
Yes.
Hindi siya one word, pero
Sige.
it made sense. Isang phrase siya, pero it made sense. Kasi, alam ko yung worries nyo going in na, si Goldberg tatalon nga si Drew. Pero yun nga, di ba nilabang ko na
Yes.
sa Twitter na it's designed to put Drew over
Yes,
as this new unstoppable monster face champion. Kasi the WWE has been lacking a face champion na badass. Kasi si Roman Reigns, ang mali yung atake nila before na badass siya pero underdog.
Oo.
Si Drew kasi, badass face champion na alam mong siya yung favorite. So, kung ngayon natalo niya si Goldberg, kasi with the mainstream people, you still, mainstream the casuals, syempre, recognizable ba si Goldberg? As much as we, the fans na nagpo-follow pa ng product, ayaw na natin kasi nakakasawa.
Not
Pero,
surprised.
it made sense kasi you want Drew as the main face of the company, not the main heel and the main
Yes,
guy.
yes.
Kasi we know
Iba
who
yun.
that guy is now.
Iba yun.
Pero with him being the top face, syempre, we need him to beat people not recognizable by casual fans.
Yes.
Because the WWE are obvious naman they're building Raw around Drew. So, yun, ang hindi natin alam is with the Rumble winner kung sino pipiliin. Pero I think ang
Roman.
reports iba ang sinasabi. At
Roman.
I think yung sabi nila si Roman sabi nila, pero ako kasi mas gusto ko nang hindi mo pa alam kung sino kay Drew. Kasi I think they can be more creative. Feeling ko hindi si Miz
Hindi rin.
I mean, hindi pa magka-cash in si Miz. I was expecting kasi, to be honest, sorry kung napatagal.
Sige lang.
Na matatalo kung manalo man si Goldberg, manalo man si Drew, magka-cash in si Miz, tapos si Drew ang mananalo ng Rumble. Para dun sa Roman Drew na pinaplano nila. Which I think they might move to next year. Kasi hindi pa rin sure yung rumored Roman Rock. So, if you want to fill up, kung okay na nun, a stadium that has 100,000 seating capacity or more and more,
Wait, 100?
that's a perfect match to event.
Hindi magwa 100 yun.
Hindi, nag-100 na siya. Hindi, okay na.
Hindi yan.
Hindi, pero kasi 100,000 nung WrestleMania 32.
Pero, syempre, pandemic.
Malabo. Pero
Malabo.
isipin mo, ilan yung sa Raymond James, hindi natin alam Alam ko parang plano ata na 25,000 crowd.
25.
Kasi most likely niya, nasa bleachers lang, tapos malala yung mga seats sa ground.
Tapos yung sa ground, I think di na gagalawin yun.
I think meron, pero siguro in batches siguro sila. So, ayun yung akin.
So, sa akin naman, total, pinag-usapan mo na yung ups ng Drew versus Goldberg. Doon tayo sa downsides. Peace break. Bigyan lang ako dalawang reason kung bakit. Sabihin natin na pinut over ni Goldberg si Drew. Pero it doesn't mean na kailangan pa ba ni Goldberg na patunayan na malaking threat pa rin siya? Because I don't think so, man. Example na lang yun. Yung kay The Fiend last year.
Sorry.
Sige, man. Example na lang yun, man. And then, yung ano pa ba yung isa? Yung kay Undertaker. Munti ka na siya mamatay doon. Isang malaking example yun. Kaya parang dami din galit kay Goldberg kasi nga, ba't nagko-compete pa siya? Ba't nandiyan pa siya sa title shot? And, well, just for the ratings, ano pa ba aasahan natin? Number 2, I know, di na rin makakatagal si Goldberg ng 10-20 minutes. Lalo naman 5 minutes.
Well,
So,
actually,
parang-
akin kasi tama ka dyan. Ikaw, tuloy ka lang. Tapos ako na mag-add.
Sige. Sa tingin ko, di na talaga siya makakatagal lang 5, 10, or even 20 minutes. Kasi, obvious naman. Na he doesn't need to compete for the title. Yun.
Akin kasi for me, it's better na yun nga 5-minute matches kasi si Goldberg, admin natin, kahit yung WCW run niya, he was never the best wrestler. Hindi siya yung best wrestler. And medyo late na rin into his life na nagpapasok siya. I think nasa 30s na rin nata siya after leaving the NFL. So, hindi siya comparable with another part-timer na, well, my favorite wrestler of all time, si Brock.
Yes.
Iba kasi si Brock kasi has that background. So talagang alam mo mobile siya, kaya niya. Kahit si Brock namumula na, kaya pa magtrabaho niyan for 20 minutes. And na-prove naman niya, lalo nung Rumble last year.
Yes, sobra pa nga yun eh.
Sobra pa. Pero with Goldberg kasi, ang problem is, hindi na siya anong term to? Hindi na siya yung wrestler talaga na kahit part-time, always in shape. Well, siguro naman nagtitraining siya, pero alam ko nasabi niya rin to before, na ayaw niya nagbabulk up tapos magpaparip. Kasi syempre, ang naalala ko, nasabi niya he's down to 230, 240 pag hindi siya nag-wrestle. So, he needs to bulk up again to 280 and then to get ripped. So, ang laking demand nun sa katawan and no wonder nanghina na siya. Plus yung age niya.
Oo, plus 55 na ata si Goldberg ngayon, no?
54, tapos kung makita mo, anipis na ng binti niya kaya nag-shorts na siya.
Kala ko kasi
Kasi yun napansin ko, ba't hindi ka naka-tights? Sabi ko, nakapantalon ba ito? Biglang shorts. Uy, si Brock Goldberg.
Yun na naisip ko. Pero inalisan ko yung match, sorry. Yun na yan. Yun na yan, saya.
Yun yung akin.
Sige,
Kasi
sige.
I think, yun nga, ang importante dito is to build Drew. Kasi feeling ko, they're planning to do Roman Drew as the big overlapping story na kailangan talaga maglaban pa rin ng dalawa.
Kasi ganun pa din, hindi magbabago yung role ni Roman, I think.
I think hindi na magbago kasi mas bagay na kay Drew kasi siya yung
Siya yung dominate.
guy na gusto mo i-root kasi siya yung nag-hit ng rock bottom. And si Roman kasi mas bagay siyang heel kasi kailangan ng final boss ng WWE actually ngayon eh. Kasi wala na si Taker. Ang pinasa ni Taker yun kay Brock eh. Si Brock ngayon, I think, he's
Pinasa na
starting
kay
to go, I think, ilan taon na ba si Brock? 43? 44? Although much as capable ba siya, and kaedad niya lang ata sila AJ, I think.
Oo.
And si Cena. Pero kasi, iba pa rin yung 280 pounds ka, 260 pounds na 43 years old na kailangan mong i-maintain yan. I guess, nami-maintain niya naman yun. Pero, syempre, you don't want na hanggang 50 niya na magkaroon ng Goldberg situation again. So, ayun. Kailangan na mag-build.
Kailangan talaga. Kaya nga, inisip ko talaga nung pinindalik ko yung Royal Rumble, check nyo na lang yung episode. Nagdududa pa rin talaga ako kay Goldberg. Kasi hindi na parang wala na eh. So,
yung katawan ni Goldberg, yung sobrang layo na niya, and maski si Undertaker na sobrang daming injuries, ang layo kumpara sa kanya.
Ang layo, oh. So, basically, that's our preview lang to, preview sa akin. So, let's move on to the next match. That's Sasha and Mela for the SmackDown.
Carmella.
For the Women's Championship. Come.
Akin, ang one-word review ko is impressive kasi we all know Sasha. She's a good wrestler. Na minsan may botches pero she's really one of the best wrestlers lalo sa WWE. And then Carmela, siya yung impressive kasi yung
Nag-improve.
sobrang improvement niya as a wrestler. Hindi mo makikita sa una kasi, after nung title reign niya in Money in the Bank, di ba, parang side feuds na lang siya ganun. So, hindi na siya showcase. Pero ito na showcase. And actually, ang galing nung sumilye niya si Reggie pa pangalan?
Si Reginald.
Reginald. Sobrang galing nung nagpa-play nun.
Oo.
Na sobrang it makes sense. As in, mamaya may mangyayari din na sobrang nakakatawa talaga siya na I don't know why, pero sobrang nag-click siya for me. And yeah, so really solid women's title match considering who are in the ring and yung improvements nga ni Carmela, although nakakatakot talaga yung isang dive niya, buti na salo siya ni Sasha.
Buti na lang.
And alam ko may parang, I don't know what video sa YouTube with the reviews. I think yung kay Brian Zane,
Nakita ka.
Wrestling with Regret. Parang na-notice niya nga na parang si Sasha, chine-check si Carmela if okay lang siya. Kasi medyo face first talaga eh. So, ayun lang. I want to highlight the good performance by Sasha and Carmela and the improvements ni Carmela sa ring.
Ang downside lang talaga nito, yung nakaka-irritate yung boses. Parang alam natin, heel. Pero, man, basag natin ako nung Rumble. Wait. Sige, okay lang. Sige, tuloy. So, let's move on sa akin. Okay, acceptable. Ang isang problema ko lang on that match, syempre, yung nakita ko yung botch. Feeling ko, natatakot na ako bigla eh. Tangina, akala ko ang mangyayari, magbobotch ending din. Kagaya ng isang match, mamaya explain natin. Parang naisip ko, magbobotch ending bigla. Pero sure ko, one day, baka after WrestleMania, magka-champion pa rin si Carmela dito. Kung
Pwede.
nila.
Actually, I agree.
Sige. So, let's move on.
Yeah.
Wait. Pag-usapan pa ba natin yung kay, yung kay, Bad Bunny? Putang inang performance yun. Okay naman. Pero as hip hop siguro, okay lang.
Ako as a fan kasi medyo mahilig ako sa dancehall reggaeton. So nagustuhan ko siya, pero depende kasi hindi naman natin masabi kung gusto ng tao kasi iba-iba panlasa ng tao lalo sa music, di ba?
Mahirap pa yun. Pero sa akin okay lang. Pero ang downside lang nun siguro sa akin, nabitin ako sa Rumble, sa sunod. Dahil dito kinain nila yung oras. So,
Pwede,
next.
actually, pero wala eh. So next na is Women's Rumble na masusunod?
Women's Rumble.
Okay.
Go. Start.
The right final two. Sobrang good call yung winner.
Yes.
Although kasi, I used to work kasi sa sports betting. So, may friend ako na nakakausap na boss na foreigner, based siya sa Malta na parang chinecheck ko yung ads niya before So, I think si Bianca ata pag-close ng odds ng tayaan ng offer is second siya. And that's something na mamaya kailangan natin tignan ulit. Kasi second siya, so si Alexa favorite. So, ang daming, I think this, for me, was the best Rumble na women's in the 4 that we had so far.
Mag-agree rin ako dyan.
I don't mind the R-Truth 24/7 kasi it made sense kay Alicia Fox, di ba? Yung sa Legends Night. Tapos, naglolokan sila. Actually, nakakatuwa siya eh. Tapos, calling back yung sabi kong sa Iconic, sabi mo nga, si Billy Kay for me yung star na first. I think si Brian Zane din sinabi niya sa review sa Wrestling with Regret. Pero yun nga, yung sinabi niya na Billie Kay was the star of the first third. Kasi sobrang panalo si Billie Kay sa mic. Biglang yung ginagawa niya, ino-offer niya. Tapos yung ginagawa sa kanya.
Effective, sobra.
Sobrang effective niya sa character na she can wrestle naman. And I thought na si Peyton Royce yung magiging star nung ano. Pero feeling ko si Peyton yung magiging Janetti, sorry.
Oo. Ako, nag-agree na rin ako dun. Pero ano, balik tayo kay Billy. Parang, ito bang push niya ngayon? Maglilid kaya yun sa ano? Maybe a feud na mas maganda?
Let's see, kasi parang ang role niya ngayon is she's trying to have friends.
Oo.
And di ba nakadikit siya sa Riot Squad? Tapos
Kinik ka siya.
in-eliminate siya ng Riot Squad mismo, di ba?
Oo.
Pero I think she'll look for a partner na bagay.
Na pwede
Pero
pumalit.
feeling ko hindi na sila pagsasamayan ni Peyton Royce. Or baka yun yung end goal.
Oo,
Pero
baka
kung maging single sila, feeling ko mas malaki yung upside ni Billie Kay.
ngayon, kasi
Kasi mas
siya na yung
aesthetic si Billie
umangat.
Kay.
Oo.
O tsaka yung character ni Billie Kay kasi, si Billie Kay, kaya, ano siya eh, siya yung tipong kaya niya magseryoso pero sobrang panalo niya sa comedy roles. Na feeling ko yun yung maging gateway niya.
Yes. So, wala nang notice pa sa Rumble.
Yung surprises okay naman. As in, walang nag-overstay na legends eh.
Wala.
So, okay naman siya. Tapos, ano pa ba? Lastly, yung final to nga, sobrang tama na si Bianca Manalo. Kasi ang ganda rin ng push sa kanya paunti-unti eh. Pero, ewan ko, i-address nila na nag-touch yung dalawang paa niya.
Oo, at baka hindi nila i-address yun.
Pero feeling ko si Rhea, ang tanong kasi, nasa SmackDown yung winner ng Rumble.
Yes, oo.
So most likely, ito nga yung sa point ko kanina na yung Lacey tsaka Charlotte, pwede na siyang special blood feud. Kasi I think Ripley will go to Raw and challenge Asuka. Pero we don't know.
Malay natin. Pero ang feeling ko kasi, di ba, we have...
Or,
Wait. Sige.
si Alexa manalo in Elimination Chamber or whatnot, sila ni Ripley. Kasi
Yun.
may nangyari na habang pa-transform si Alexa, tinapon siya ni Ripley. Si Ripley, Dragon Ball Z fan, so alam niya pag nagka-transform, vulnerable.
Dito, ideya ako, di ba? So, ito, ideya ko. Since si Bianca Belair is a SmackDown roster part, and then, baka i-challenge na rin si Sasha, baka naman mag-easy na lang sila, same as last year.
Pwede.
Tapos,
Pero kasi-
sure na, si Alexa, si Rhea.
Rhea, Alexa, di ba? We don't know eh, kasi medyo magulo pa yung road to WrestleMania now. Kasi I think with WWE, tama nga yung sinasabi nila na they want something more edgy at the start of, kasi at the request of USA. So, we're seeing it pero hindi pa sila nag-full, kasi syempre, baby steps sa road to WrestleMania kasi ito yung pandemic bay niya na magkakaroon ng fans eh. So they want people to have a good show siguro, to enjoy the show. Lalo na, yun nga, with the pandemic. Kasi New Japan proved it. Na, well, iba naman kasi yung quality ng New Japan, sabihin na natin. Pero iba, they prove na kaya eh. Kaya mag-produce ng really good show na kaya pandemic.
So, sa akin, tapos ka na.
Tapos na ako.
Dadrag ko na yung word na sinabi mo kanina. Greatest. Total, may EST. Alam mo na yun.
Yeah? EST. Pero I agree talaga.
Sige, Yung, ang problema ko lang dito siguro, parang mas nagtagal pa yung mga mini feuds na sineset nila doon. Kaysa doon sa Rumble mismo. Wait, man. Wait lang. Wait, puta. Wait. Sige, we're good. Try ko na lang. So, yung point ko doon, baka feeling ko, mas na-concentrate na yung mga mini feuds, like yung kay Lacey nga. Tsaka yung Kinaya and Kinaya and Lana. Sobrang din na naiisip na baka manalo nga si Bianca. Ako kasi inisip ko talaga it's either Rhea Ripley or Alexa. Tapos huli ko si Bianca Belair. Pero hindi.
I think Bailey ata ako dun sa prediction episode namin yung Wowie sa Wrestling After Work.
Narinig ko yan.
Row of Wrestling and the Geeky Ones.
Yes.
Ako na-surprise ako actually nung natanggal si Bailey na sobrang aga.
Same. Pero as a Bailey fan siguro, medyo na-upset ako konti. What's next for Bailey? Parang wala na
Yun nga
sa
pero kasi,
direction.
well, hindi mo na, yung kay Bailey kasi this is kinda like, kasi pag-uusapan na rin natin New Japan mamaya, ito yung kay Bailey yung parang laging Okada swing recently. Kasi ganito madalas pag nag-champion si Okada ng matagal, after nun, sobrang
Still niya
personal
bigla.
feuds lang, na para side feuds lang. Kasi last year, naalala ko nung natalo siya ni Naito for the double gold, kay Taichi siya. Tapos nagkaroon ng pandemic, tapos, ayun na, parang may rivalries na lang siya, parang slowly building up to another title reign. Kasi gano'n naman talaga pag for me, sa Four Horsewomen, ang totoong underdog lang kasi talaga you don't see her with the belt lagi, is Sasha
Sasha.
Kasi yung tatlo, si Bailey, si Becky, tsaka si Charlotte, kasi mas magaling yung character sila as champions.
Tsaka
But
mas
si Becky rin pwede rin chaser, pero Bailey and surprisingly Bailey, kahit nung lalo ngayong heel siya, tsaka si Charlotte, mas kumbaga yung character sila mas nagbe-benefit as champion.
Plus yun. Kaso ang problema lang natin, Becky, baka after pa ng WrestleMania bumalik.
Definitely, kasi hindi naman natin alam yung katawan ng babae, di ba? Lalaki
sabagay,
tayo. So,
sabagay.
hindi natin alam kung mabilis mag-heal or hindi. Pero for her safety sana. And kailangan din nila
So,
na may tao sana.
dagdag ko pa yung sa women's niya na Final 2. I think, yun na yung pinaka-solid na Final 2. Yun na rin pinaka-solid na match. And na-upset pa rin ako, bakit si Natalia ang number 30? Sorry to tell you guys, sa mga nakikinig dito. Pero, na-upset talaga ako na ba't merong ganito, backstage? Tapos, what? They're going to compete for the number 30 slot? Basta
Akin kasi, ito yung point ko sa ganyan siguro they want to build hype. Pero,
wala, di effective.
kasi syempre, it's a rumble na pandemic So they want to build hype. Like, sa lalaki, it made sense na, okay, Edge tsaka Orton, okay, may history naman sila.
Okay,
Tapos Edge returning, di ba? With Natalia kasi, ang problem is, 30. Pero kasi, we had the surprises naman kasi na
Pwede.
within the rumble. Pero ito, one criticism is, it's soft na nawalan tao kasi yung mga NXT na nila. From out of left field yung iba
Sayang nga rin game.
Kasi tsaka it's better I think para na may crowd yung mga ganun, yung may surprises. Which I think yun lang yung isa sa mga negative sa babae na mas ginawa ng lalaki na mas okay. Yung sa men's rumble. Without a doubt. So ayun, parang
mas effective
the match.
Pero mas effective to kaysa sa mensa.
I think for me,
Sa akin din.
Mas okay naman. Pero let's get sa men's. Pero yung men's din naman is actually okay.
Okay.
Pero mas nagustuhan ko yung women's.
Women's talaga. So let's move on to one of the main event na in-hype na poking ng match. That's Roman Reigns defending the Universal Heavyweight Championship in a last man standing match.
Gusto mo ikaw mauna dito?
Versus Kevin
Ikaw na
Owens.
mauna.
Sige, ako mauna. So, basically sa akin, tong muntikan ko na sabihin na putang ina, ba't ang ganda ng laban? Alam mo na, backstage, tas gagalawin nila yung buong stadium na since total Roman yan Pero, dahil nga dun sa poking inang ending, yung dulo talaga, nabuibuisit ako. Hanggang ngayon So, yung word ko siguro, ridiculous. And that's it.
Akin naman,
Okay.
what could have been? It's a phrase pero wala ka sa what could have been. Kasi, imagine mo, sobrang ganda ng match. Na sobrang, yung pacing niya ang ganda Yung spots ni Kevin Owens, like Kevin Owens ngayon, he's like this guy na lumalabas yung pagka-Kevin Steen niya. Na
Yung
brawler, tapos actually for me, Kevin Owens, mas okay na siya as face kaya hindi mo na siya pwede kasi everyday man siya eh.
Oo.
Si Kevin Owens kasi nakita namin what does an everyday man look like. He doesn't look like Roman Reigns. Hindi naman siya gayot na Samoan, hindi siya gayot na tao. May chan siya. So si Kevin Owens talaga. Tapos kasi with they even did yung AEW spot na may pero I think universally acclaimed and universally recognized na mas maganda yung ginawa ng WWE kasi hindi mo nakita eh. Talagang binangga na lang siya eh. Yun nga lang, I think nasira yung ending. Nasira nga yung ending nung botch ni Paul Heyman. Kasi sobrang tumigil yung referee and all. Kasi nasira yung ending. Kasi parang what the fuck, nakatayo lang si Kevin Owens. Diba? So walang gagawin niya, diba? Sana kung ginawa nila, mas maganda cover up. Parang habang si Reigns, diba? Parang habang ina-unlock yung handcuffs, sinisipan muna siya ni Kevin Owens. Kaso, hindi rin eh. Nagstay si Owens sa isang side lang for like 3 minutes.
45 seconds.
45 seconds. Ayun, pero medyo matagal siya eh. So, hindi ko na kala ko mas matagal pa eh.
Buti
So,
nga,
ayun lang, for me,
kina-cover nila.
Oo.
Pero wala.
Kasi ang problema, for me, this was their best match. Sana. Pero ito kasi yung pinpoint eh. Yung pinpoint details ng isang match, yun yung may isang nakakasira talaga. Pero overall, it's a good match. Siguro kung bibigyan natin ng star rating, it could have been a 4.5 pero 4 lang dahil yung batch. Dahil sobrang laki nung tinanggal ng batch for me.
Lakang epekto.
I'm not complaining pero nasira yung moment. Although hindi naman natin ini-expect ganun and I think si Heyman hindi niya rin ini-expect yung ganun.
Pero
So,
feeling ko if hindi naman nagkaganon, call pa din na retain, di ba?
Oo, na ganun pa rin eh. Kasi feeling ko na ganun eh. Kasi yung guillotine choke, hindi pinapakita eh. Spears, laging natatayuan ni Kevin Owens eh. Which I like actually with Roman na may submission move na siya.
Oo. +1.
And he's beating... kasi we hate that kailangan niya ng heel finisher. Kasi yung face finisher niya is the Superman punch. So spear na, di ba? So, mas magandang may finisher siya ngayon na na submission based.
Sobrang protected.
Tapos, it makes sense lalo pag monster heel siya na yung like champion like si Drew or si Kevin Owens nagpa-pass out na lang, hindi nagta-tap out, nagpa-pass out. Like lesser men siguro magta-tap out pero like the big names, yung mga main eventers, di ba? Kung if they want them to still be strong is yun nga, hindi nagta-tap out. So yun yung review ko sa match.
Pero ako,
dagdag
ko, wala pang nagta-tap out sa submission nata, if I'm not mistaken. Tap out, yung pa lang yung angat kamay pa lang ganun nata.
Parang I think more on pass out eh.
Pass out
Pero
talaga.
it makes sense eh. Kasi si lahat ng nakalaban ni Roman, well, yung face pa si Jay is yung plucky underdog na lumalaban eh. As ang problema, yun nga, na he want something bigger than what he can, yung kaya niya, di ba? So, give up yung katawan niya. Si Drew ganun din, parang after dapat paralo na nadaya. Tapos yun na yung ginawa. Kasi mas maganda yun. Kasi Drew, you can't see Drew being beaten na normal circumstances eh. Tapos si Owens ganun din. Pero, yeah, it makes sense nga yung guillotine ni Roman na majority pass out. Siguro kung lesser wrestlers, they'll tap out. Pero andun yung spear eh. So, I think they needed someone to be strong pa rin, yun, yung guillotine choke.
What if yung money clip ni Okada, ganyan ang booking?
Actually,
seryoso, yung money clip kasi parang hindi seryosong move yun ni Okada, di ba? Naalala ko lang.
Hindi, pero actually recently sobrang nagsimula kay Shingo, it makes sense na.
It makes sense na. Pero nung una na talagang ginagamit, wala. Parang hindi ko maseryoso.
Tsaka kasi may submission alam ko, kasi ito yung history ng money clip.
Sige.
Before we move on. Kasi yung money clip before was, I remember it was developed by Okada yung Cobra Clutch to counter Naito's Destino heading into Wrestle Kingdom 12. Pero ang nangyari kasi is, with actually yun yung match na naka-hurt sa career ni Okada more than any other match kasi people were expecting a Naito coronation and then Gedo book Okada to retain, although naman dahil may victory, 12 defenses tapos yung nearly 2-year reign, pero yung Sumira. Pero alam ko doon nag-start yung Cobra Clutch, yung money clip. Tapos, well, he doesn't, may story rin kasi, kaya hindi mo ano. Pero
may story.
I agree na
Alam ko
sobrang
yun.
simula of 2020, yung after ng reset, sobrang medyo
Ang weird.
wrestlers din yung how to. So, if napanood niyo yung episode namin, yung Wowies and Royal Rumble preview episode, yun nga, na-praise ko si Shingo Takagi, who I named the wrestler of the year,
Yes.
on my opinion. He started selling yung money clip. He was the first one to sell na parang it's a threat. So,
Siya ata yung una talaga.
sobrang gandang sell niya. Yun yung nag-pass out siya, alam ko eh. Alam ko pass out eh.
Pass out yun. Pass out.
O kasi si Hiromu Takahashi din pass out eh. Pero it's more of Okada ragdolling someone smaller.
Yung kay Shingo ata, ano, mas, parang mas effective lang yung execution.
Yes, kasi si Shingo kasi alam mo parang fighting spirit. Si Hiromu kasi fighting spirit pero alam mo mas maliit siya. So, nararagdal siya ni Okada. Yung kay Shingo kasi, ang ganda ng sell ni Shingo kasi parang nahihilo ano na talaga siya, nawawalan ng hininga.
Yun yung napunta natin. So, nalalayan na tayo.
Ay, mamaya pa yun.
Sige, mamaya pa yun. Meron pa tayo isa. So, that's the men's Royal Rumble.
Universal title, no? So,
Tapos na tayo. Royal
men's
Rumble
title,
na.
men's rumble na ba?
Men's Rumble na. Mauna ka na.
Oo nga, men's rumble na. So, ako na mauna dito, and ang ano ko lang, deserved. Everyone was expecting Bryan to win, pero if you were gonna give it to a legend, actually si Edge makes sense kasi with the reaction, and Edge kasi can move and he's a good character kasi, so he can still move at 47. So, alam mo kaya niya mag-produce ng good match. Well, with the fact that WWE received you sa greatest wrestling match ever, I have to say na sobrang naganda na ako dun sa match. It did take 45 minutes pero and it was a cinematic match. Pero for me, it was well done eh. Kasi alam mong Edge can move and Randy when he's inspired and he's not in fuck you mode, sobrang magaling siya wrestler. Pero hindi, pero pag tamad kasi si Randy, di ba? Pag wala siya sa mood ko ba, or hindi siya inspired, parang si Brock din, parang wala sa mood. Ganun. Kahit favorite ko siya, alam ko na. Pero kasi, si Edge kasi yung pwede mong na legend na pagbigyan mo. Well, tapos si Bryan kasi, who started the day as the favorite according to the sports books. Well, si Edge din yung second. So, pansin mo, parehas second to the favorite yung nanalo, Bianca and Edge. Tapos, ang naisip ko kasi, kaya tinanggal si Shinsuke at si Bryan Umaga kasi hindi pa sure kung sinong gusto nila lumaban kay Roman. Pero ngayon, na-report sa saying si Meltzer, although hindi na siya ganun ka-accurate dahil ang dami ng misreports ngayon na marang mali-mali yung nire-report niya.
Oo, alam mo naman.
Ewan ko, napapansin mo yun is, yun nga, Edge daw and Roman. Pero I think, this is the better way to go. This is the best way to go because Edge is SmackDown through and through eh. So, mas magandang makuha niya yung belt na sa SmackDown. And for Roman, this is a legend na pwede niyang idagdag sa name niya. And I think still, I don't think Edge will win.
Same.
I think kung Roman yan, was definitely Roman retains. So, ayun, yun yung akin. And also, last call.
Sige.
Sorry.
Sige.
For me, mas maganda yung execution nila sa Rumble na to in terms of storytelling. For me, kasi although may overlapping stories yung sa na-highlight din kasi yung ibang wrestlers, yung ibang surprise. Tapos yung kay Carlito, sobrang okay.
Christian
Pero
din.
as an overall match, mas maganda lang yung sa women's kasi yung execution niya for me mas better. Kasi medyo random minsan yung sa men's. Like si Omos, ba't nang hiniga si Big E?
Naumay talaga ako dun.
Kasi di ba, parang walang explanation eh. You're on different brands. Tapos biglang, okay, atagal ko si AJ, pero ba't si Big E? Unless they're building, kasi feeling ko hindi Big E Omos eh. Kasi feeling ko,
Hindi
this is
talaga.
just my prediction, pero feeling ko Big E tsaka Seth sa main niya.
For the title ako. Feeling ko.
So, ayun lang yung akin.
Wala yung word.
Ayun na, parang deserved yung si Edge, the win.
Well deserved.
For me, I'm good with it. I actually, di ko gets ba't yung iba galit na galit, lalo sa mga international groups, parang,
Wait.
come on.
Nag-ano rin sa'yo? Sige, okay na yan. Sige, tuloy natin.
Okay na.
Mamawala rin. So sa akin, pansin ko, di ba, sinabi mo nga na marami nagagalit right now because of Kesyo, ba't Hall of Fame? Gusto namin si Shinsuke. O kaya si Cesaro, si Brian. Oh, sabihin natin, deserve ng tatlo yun. Pero, sa akin, meron dalawa akong naiisip. Number one, yung kay Edge. If si Edge ngayon nanalo, baka ang maging direction niyan is either matatalo siya kay Roman, matatalo siya kay Drew. Yun ang senaryo ko doon. Number two, if Randy can beat the champion, Drew McIntyre, during the road to WrestleMania. And if ang balak din nila is another Edge versus Orton, mukhang doon na rin tutungo. Or baka triple threat, Drew versus Randy versus Edge. Baka ganon. And then Roman, bahala ka sa buhay mo. Joke lang. Baka feeling ko sa yung Roman, kay Roman naman, baka magkaroon sila ng IC. Kasi total, if yung itutuloy nila is Randy versus Fiend at WrestleMania, malamang ang makukuha natin is it's either Edge versus McIntyre or Roman.
Ang ako doon, to interject lang, I think it's gonna be Roman. Kasi may Fiend nga, so Fiend Randy. Kay Drew kasi, feeling ko kasi si Miz siya o Morrison kay... Ayun, forgot ko, sobrang effective na debut. Si Damian Priest. Damian Priest became a star. As in, sobrang pati yung introduction niya sa Raw. Sobrang, alam mong he's the next project ng WWE. Pero, I think it's gonna work this time. Kasi si Damian Priest can actually work and is actually a really cool bad guy. Para siyang Razor Ramon, yung dating niya eh. Parang the cool bad guy, na cool badass wrestler na...
Corbin.
Parang he's a better Baron Corbin nga eh, di ba? Better Baron Corbin yung Corbin yung asar. Tapos,
sa akin din.
I think with the Raw, kasi I don't know if alam ng tao, kaya wala si Mia Yim tsaka si Keith Lee. Kasi nagka-COVID si Mia Yim. So most likely si Keith Lee meron din. I think si Kitata na una, I'm not sure.
Or si,
I'm not sure kung
si
Yim, pero nag-post si Mia Yim kasi nakita ko lang sa Reddit before the Rumble. I don't think yun. I think Keith Lee ang program niya I think is with Lashley. So, who will face Drew?
Sheamus.
I think it's not Sheamus sa I think it's not sa Mania. I think Sheamus sa Elimination Chamber or ano man or Fastlane. Dalawa pa yung pay-per-views eh.
Dalawa pa.
But I think they're gonna redo yung main event last year na Mania. That's my call. I think it's gonna be Brock Drew again. Pero this time it's gonna be a proper match kasi I think if they want to make Drew this unstoppable guy talaga na no one can beat, pwede. Or they might pull a wild card from under their sleeves or under their trunks and they might surprise us. I think ang program ngayon kasi kasi tinitease din yun sa NXT, pero we all know it's gonna be Finn and Karrion Kross sa Mania. I think it's gonna be in Mania, and that's gonna be in a takeover. I think yung NXT title will be in Mania.
Hindi ata.
So,
hindi ata.
Hindi ba?
Hindi.
So, ayun.
Baka mag-takeover sila before or after?
Mag-takeover, okay. Hindi ko pa, pero tingnan natin. Pero I think yung kay Drew kasi is more interesting kasi they can do the Brock route or they can do a wild card. Kasi feeling ko hindi Miz and Morrison. Kasi feeling ko Bad Bunny, Damian Priest yung mangyayari.
Pero feeling ko talaga, yung briefcase na yan, filled pa din yan.
Feeling ko.
Tapos maglilid yun sa dissension ni Miz and Morrison. And then ipupush nila si Morrison.
Pwede. Kasi actually, tama lang naman na isihan mo muna yung pagbalik ni Morrison. Kasi, syempre, hindi pa, may mga generation of fans who missed his work as, John Morrison. So, ayun. So, I think, yun nata. Tapos na tayo sa Royal Rumble.
Hindi pa katapos sa akin. So,
ikaw pala, sorry.
Then, yung review ko lang, konti na lang to. So, basically sa akin, ang gustuhan ko lang siguro dito yung returns. And then, di na ako sorpresa sa mga nangyari nga. Yung kay Edge, sorpresa talaga ako. Yun, basically, that's it for the Royal Rumble. Rate mo na lang. 1 to 5. Overall.
As a show,
Yes.
4.25 siguro.
4.25. Same. Pero ano ako?
Kasi sabi...
3. 3 lang sa akin.
3.
3.
Akin kasi nagustuhan ko siya as a solid show talaga na
Solid show.
kahit yung sabi ng Goldberg and Drew, walang butaw eh. As in, it made sense. Although yun nga, may mga spots na that could have been better. Pero yeah, for 4.25 as a show, which is what, A-? Mga ganun. I mean, siguro yung Rumble lang ng men's, it's not the best. Pero yung we have the best women's for me na Rumble match of all time.
Tapos yung Universal na medyo clusterfuck yung ending.
Pero kasi, yun kailangan mo maging creative with a 5-minute Goldberg match kasi alam mo it's gonna be spamming finishes. So, maganda na rin yung ginawa nilang pre-match na nag-jump the gun si Drew.
So, yun, but pretty much it.
Yeah.
For the Royal Rumble, that's it. Tapos,
So, tatawid na tayo ng Pacific Ocean ngayon.
yes, tatawid na tayo. Napakalaking ocean na to. Pupunta na tayo sa Twice. Ay, wait.
Bago!
Sorry. So, let's move on to
Ikaw yun, hindi ko.
to the yung nangyari last Saturday sa Japan.
New Beginning.
New
Nagoya.
Beginning ano nga ba yan? New Beginning yan? Hindi ko tanda eh.
In Nagoya. Yung
Nagoya,
first
yeah.
ng 3 New Beginning big shows.
Yun. Naalala ko na. So, that's Shingo Takagi versus
Yung headliner, yes.
Yes.
Hiroshi
Shingo
Tanahashi.
Takagi, Hiroshi Tanahashi. So, ikaw, kaya kita tinawag, ikaw na mag-review kasi hindi ko pa napapanood.
Okay lang. So, ito yung point ko. Kasi let's talk about the event muna. Yung new event ngayon was held in Nagoya and Hiroshima. Which is a change of pace kasi usually the big New Beginning show lagi sa Osaka eh. It's either in Ideon or last year sa Osaka Joe. Yung Naito, Kenta. Pero I think nag-skip sila ng Osaka kasi magkakaroon ng Castle Attack show after. Siguro mga 3 weeks lang ata yung pagitan, which is I think is a bigger show compared to New Beginning. So, the first big show was the one in Nagoya. Yung other matches before we go to the main event was the Great Okan and si Tenzan. You remember sa my New Year's Dash parang in-injure ng the United Empire si Tenzan. Which also led to the co-main event, which was Will Ospreay and Satoshi Kojima, one of the uncles sa New Japan na kaya pa talaga magtrabaho in a big match.
Yes.
So, Great Okan beat Tenzan. I think may stipulation, if I can remember correctly, na magre-retire ng Mongolian chop yung matalo. Kasi para sila nagmo-Mongolian chop eh. They're known for their Mongolian chops, talo si Tenzan. And now, si Great Okan kasi, his character is the dominant. It's like a mix of a Chinese Jiang Zhao, yung parang zombie, yung ghost na tumatalon na may paper sa mukha, tsaka Mongolian, like, Khan. So, he's the dominator niya. Pero, I think it makes sense kasi Great Okan is, yung ceiling niya for me, is better than Evil for now. Kasi, with Evil kasi, yung nag-heal si Evil, ang worry ko kasi, he was so good as an anti-hero brawler. Tapos ngayon sa dating niya, he can wrestle pero sobrang yung pagka-heal niya, puro shenanigans eh. Which is, to a certain point, you have to appreciate Jay White na rin in Gedo na, as in, on time lagi yung shenanigans sila. Kasi with Evil and, with, who's this? Big Togo, medyo random na minsan eh.
Parang
although
US
formula naman siya.
Parang
pero
Western.
with Great, nga, pero it makes sense, Bullet Club eh.
Yun, Bullet
They're
Club.
supposed to be the Western style faction kasi Gaijin faction. Pero with the Great Okan kasi, he's the enforcer talaga na he can work power moves eh, which is good. Tapos, with the leader naman of the United Empire, Will Ospreay and Satoshi Kojima, I think ito yung perfect matches for Kojima now. He can still work, pero not as to the level na capable siya 10 years ago. Siyempre, alam ko he's 50 now. And Ospreay starting out to be a serious contender at heavyweight. A no disqualification match, sobrang wild niya. Makes sense na Ospreay wins, which happened, and Okan won I think retiring yung Mongolian champ ni Tenzan, it made sense kasi sobrang 0 out of 3 ng United Empire sa Wrestle Kingdom. And you have to build them strong because they're
0-3.
starting out to be the new heel faction, the new heel Gaijin faction na ano. Kasi for me, sa New Japan, there are factions na talaga na you need to be dissolved. Like Chaos, kasi they're actually what? Just an edgier version of the New Japan Army. Well, sila yung pinaka-disposable na for me. And also Suzuki Gun is up in the air kasi hindi mo alam kung kailan mag-retire. Pero there's rumors na mag-retire na malapit si Suzuki. Yung dalawang malakas, hindi mo pwede galawin is Bullet Club in Los Ingobernables. So, ayun, we needed another faction kasi syempre, di naman pwedeng isaksak lahat ng heel sa Bullet Club or Suzuki Gun. So, ayun, makes sense na rin. Pero I think I doubt na the Empire wouldn't receive something because mamaya sa review ko mismo, diba, na parang there's gonna be something happening. And I think I'm gonna call it now. One of the two men that I'm looking at to see to win the New Japan Cup on March to April kasi it is gonna lead to Sakura Genesis, the title shot eh. Kasi usually yun yung the big spring show nila eh. Kasi for the new, alam ko na pag-usapan namin to before nila Steven na sa Discord nila, if you wanna join, alam ni Angelo yung link. Sa The Geek Ones. I think there are 4 big shows kasi sa Japan. Winter will be yung Wrestle Kingdom. Spring is Sakura Genesis, not New Japan Cup. Kasi I think New Japan Cup is mas mababa talaga yung tingin ng compared to the G1, which is the summer show,
New
G1.
Japan Cup is more on a, parang, tawag ba doon? Survivor Series, ganun.
Parang siya, elimination tournament siya. So, one loss, you're out. So it just spans like a different, like yung different brackets ganun.
Tsaka hindi siya na yung pay-per-view, di ba?
Yung finals niya okay naman, naging pay-per-view pero it just leads to a bigger match kasi. Unlike the G1 finals which is considered the big match. Pero ngayon kasi with New Japan kasi they've added the Jingo shows kasi lalo ngayon the G1 is gonna be on October na naman ata kasi yung Olympics actually is
tuloy na.
So yun, yung big 4 shows which is yung Sakura Genesis is the next big show kasi. So I think Ospreay is gonna win the New Japan Cup and challenge whoever wins the match on the 11th between mamaya sa predictions na yun with Ibushi and Sanada. Tapos now sa main event, wow. Can I geek over pare? Sorry.
Sige lang. Kasi kahit ako di rin mga geek over.
Kasi with the New Japan, the Never title, it's the Tough Man title. It's also called the Angry Uncle title kasi karamihan na nagko-compete dito yung mga uncles na sila Shingo. Yung mga nasa latter stage of their careers na. Well, not naman yung latter na parang sa uncles nila Kojima gano'n. Pero yung, papunta na dun. But can still wrestle. So, ngayon, nasabi ko nga to sa Discord noon na what Shingo did with the Never title is comparable to what Shinsuke did sa IC title. Na-elevate niya yun, lalo wala yung intercon dahil part siya ng double title, yun na siya na yung mid-card title ngayon.
Parang siya na yung second title.
Siya na. Kasi Shingo, let's be honest about it, kasi Shingo through work rate alone, naging super reliable guy siya na I think, if I'm correct, na stats ni Chris Samsa, na laging sinasabi before going to Wrestle Kingdom, ni Kevin Kelly, Shingo had the most wins out of any wrestler in New Japan last year. And actually, I think the year before, the best record din ata or the most dominant track record in New Japan was Shingo rin. Kasi remember he had that undefeated undefeated run on singles events, single matches. So, what I like about this match kasi, it's usually like tough guy contest na strong style. Well, meron pa rin naman dito syempre kasi yun yung identity ng belt. Pero I like how they did na parang may juniors na nagcha-challenge like last year, like si Sho tsaka si El Desperado, tapos like the strongest matches, like yung favorite match ko ng Wrestle Kingdom which was Cobb and Shingo
Yun,
na Kaiju battle. What I appreciate in this match is they treated it as a New Japan main event match. Yung merong maganda finishing sequence and then the reversal, the whole shtick ng New Japan pag nag-wrestle sila ng epic, which it was. It's a 35-minute epic, the longest never title match of all time.
Solid.
And I think it's the greatest never title match of all time. And certainly the most important because it's Hiroshi Tanahashi competing for it. The guy who I think is, even with Okada's reign, I think he's still the best wrestler New Japan has produced. Or has wrestled in New Japan this century. So, starting from 2000, syempre. So, yeah, ang ganda nung pagkaano na match. They work on each other's knees. There's a mini batch na parang yung made in Japan ni Shingo, nagland sa ulo ni Tanahashi, and good thing he's okay. And grabe yung finishing sequence sobra. So, I think if I can give it a grade, I give it 5.5 na stars. If I can give a star rating, kasi for me, it really blew my mind na expectations ko were blown away. Although may some spots na syempre Tanahashi isn't the best version of himself right now. So may mga parang spots or sequences na medyo nag-drag, pero nothing to like destroy the of the match or nothing like yung botch nila Roman. So it was a really good match na it felt like a New Japan main event because it was treated as a New Japan main event. And yeah, it was refreshing kasi pag never talaga kasi you expect compact, action-packed matches na 20 minutes, 25 minutes lang. This was the New Japan main event epic that is known for the big title matches talaga. So,
parang
yeah,
heavyweight title.
diba? Yun nga eh. Kasi parang yung treatment ng New Japan with Shingo talaga grabe. I think they are relying on Shingo more, lalo sa smaller shows like ganito. Kasi, let's admit it, the Nagoya show is the first show, so most likely yan, it's the mid-card or the second tier belt ang maging defend. Eh, ngayon wala silang second tier belt kasi wala yung IC kasama ng heavyweight. Tapos yung US, I think is now
separate na.
Gonna be with Strong na. Oh, I think it's gonna be on Strong na talaga.
Parang exclusive na.
Oh, exclusive na kasi meron na silang Strong eh. So may New Japan of USA na. So
I think
was on the network.
na-announce na rin ba yung channel na mag-air sa USA tsaka kay UK? Di pa, no?
Alam ko UK, meron na yung sa US, hindi ko maalala.
Wala pa. So, yun. Basically. Ano pa ba yung darating sa New Beginning? Meron pa ata New Beginning event?
Meron pa, which is ngayon, with the shows recently, they're adding ata the Never Six-Man title. Not sure if it's gonna be today or sa first Hiroshima show. Pero the big match on the first Hiroshima show is Sho, who we thought was gonna win the Best of the Super Juniors versus Hiromu Takahashi, the face of the junior division without a doubt, and head and shoulders, sobrang layo niya na in terms of popularity as a junior heavyweight. Kasi I think Kushida didn't have this much popularity because Hiromu, I think, transcended that role more. Nag-transcend na siya into like a real superstar. And this is a result of Show challenging Hiromu during New Year's Dash kasi remember, Hiromu lost the show in the Best of the Super Juniors. Now, what do I expect dito? I think Hiromu retains kasi I think they're planning a big match at Dominion because we're gonna have the Best of the Super Juniors unless magka-break uli around before Dominion. So, before the Olympics siguro. Tama, before the Olympics kasi alam ko August pa naman. So, I expect kasi na Hiromu will drop the belt to Desperado, especially given the finals match that he had sa Best of the Super
Desperado
Juniors.
solid din.
And then, it's gonna be on, kailan ba siya? February 10. Tapos February 11 is gonna be the big one, which is Sanada versus Kota Ibushi. As you can remember, ito rin yung finals ng G1 30.
Finals,
which was, I think alam na ni Allen to, ni MTG na
alam ko
me
na.
and one of the geek ones, si Jude, sobrang disappointed kami sa match kasi sobrang
Kahit
nakulaman
naman ako.
Hindi, kasi yun yung worry with Ibushi. Sometimes kasi his matches need to be formulaic to be parang okay, sulit. Kasi minsan pag kulang ng sequences parang bitin eh. Kasi medyo abrupt talaga yung finisher niya, yung Kamigoye. Kasi it's meant to be the abrupt. Kasi it's a God Killer. That's a nickname. God Killer ni. Pero kasi, ang doubt dito natin kasi, Will Sanada win. Kasi he lost the G1 match. Pero apparently, hindi ganun yun. Kasi usually New Japan ganun eh. Parang bawian ng talo-loss. Pero with what we saw with Sanada rin, he beat Evil finally 2 straight times. G1 and ito, yung Wrestle Kingdom. I do think na si, ano pa rin, si Ibushi pa rin kasi I think there's gonna be another big match sa Castle Attack. We don't know who. We don't know who's gonna challenge him. So, I think Ibushi's gonna win. Tapos, I'm gonna be surprised. Pero ito kasi, most of the first reign champions ng New Japan, except for Kenny, well, although si Kenny, dalawa lang ata defenses niya, if
Dalawa.
I can remember correctly. Never naglalast yung title reign, lagpas ng dalawa. Well, si Kenny kasi exception, pero usually it's just no defenses or one defense lang. Naito on his, well, all of his reigns, one defense lang. Well, kasi sa nangyari last year. Tapos,
Alam mo,
Jay White, alam ko,
wala si White.
no defenses. Oo. Si Evil, one defense lang kay Hiromu. Tapos natalo
Yeah.
siya ng second. So, kasi yung with New Japan kasi, I think with Ibushi, they might do it na matagal, pero I think sa Castle Attack, he might lose the belt or in Sakura Genesis. We don't know. I don't know kung sino ito. Kasi Naito's with Honma, rivaling with Honma. So, ayun, with yung sa new beginning, move ko na, diretso ko na alit sa future ng New Japan, no?
Sige.
Na part natin.
Sige,
Kasi
sige.
with, nasabi ko na rin na I think Osprey's gonna win the New Japan Cup and probably battle Ibushi sa Sakura Genesis depending on who challenges sa Castle Attack kasi we're gonna have the anniversary show din. So, they're building up to that now na mukhang Hiromu versus Ibushi na sobrang comedy nila sa backstage segments. Pero let's see. Pero you can also say na baka si Sanada daw kasi LIJ, di ba? Usually naman, madalas it's junior versus heavyweight champion na history. So, ayun. With the others kasi, I don't know if they're gonna still do the Jingu show. So, sa summer na yon. Tapos, best of the Super Juniors, feeling ko si Desperado. Kasi they want that momentum. Kasi with Suzuki Gun ngayon, yung sa tag team ni Kanemaru sa ni Desperado, medyo nagkaka-riff. So, we don't know. Tapos, I think, ang call ko kasi, if I remember, nagtama na Ibushi, tingin namin will go 2-0. Although we wanted Naito to win. Pero I think you only have two guys you want to be champion before the G1 and during the Olympics. First is Okada, syempre, kasi he's gonna run the torch. So you need him as champion. Now, if Okada wins the title by Dominion, I think G1 winner will be Sanada. Kasi yun yung story ni Sanada. He can't beat Okada when it matters, when the belt is on the line. And what's the biggest stage of all time? It's Wrestle Kingdom for them. So, what if his story concludes at Wrestle Kingdom? Kasi andun eh, I don't know if napansin nyo or napansin din ni Allen, pero I think napansin naman ni Allen to na Sanada was getting the loudest reactions ng G1. Yung mga tao, bawal sumigaw napapasigaw.
Bawal nga.
Bawal, di ba? Pati
bawal.
nung di ba, nung nanalo siya kay Evil, di ba, nung sa G1, as sumigaw yung mga tao. Kasi
Halos.
people want to kaya I think, di ba, people didn't want the were lukewarm at first sa Ibushi because they wanted Sanada to win. And sa poll sa New Japan, it was crazy kasi they wanted Sanada to win like 80%. Sanada yung gusto mo, 80 or 90. Which, yeah, yan ibig sabihin mo. Kasi, sabihin na natin sa top 5 most popular New Japan wrestlers, tatlo well, si Okada wala dun. Si feeling ko, sa Japan na siya popular, pero may fans pa rin na. Pero it's LIJ kasi with popularity inside Japan lalo. Sanada, Hiromu, and lalo nga si Shingo on the up na rin. So, ayun, I think Sanada, if Okada is champion by G1, I think Sanada wins. Tapos ang big prediction ko, Naito and Okada will be in the same group. Now, syempre, Naito will have his rematch. Pero ang usual na nangyayari kasi is the rematch happens at Dominion.
Dominion,
So I think Naito wins there. And if Naito wins, I think Okada will win the G1 for his third one. Tapos, yun, magkakaroon na tayo ng Naito Okada for sa Wrestle Kingdom sa Dome. And now, Naito can finally have that defense win kasi Naito won the title at Wrestle Kingdom 14, being the third man to do so na manalo sa main event na Wrestle Kingdom after Tanahashi and Shinsuke Nakamura na manalo na main event and to get a belt. Now, ang kulang na sa kanya is that main event title defense win because Okada had it, Shinsuke had it, Tanahashi had it. Yung greats ng New Japan, yun yung wala pa siya eh. So yun ang kailangan niya. So I think if yun ang si Naito champion going to G1, Okada wins it and we have Naito Okada 4. And then if Okada is champion by G1, Sanada wins G1 and the co-main event will be for Wrestle Kingdom will be Naito versus Ospreay.
Bale, the 16th is 2 nights ba? Pag 2 nights pa rin ba?
Wala pa tayong idea kung 2 nights. Actually,
Pero
wala
feeling
pa
ko
ako
2
nabasa.
nights.
I think baka gawin nila 2 nights kung tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung ganito eh. Kasi mas maganda na yun. Actually, mas okay nga yung New Japan niya. Kasi watchable na yung, kahit sobrang ganda ng matches niya, hindi nakakapagod panoorin. Kasi before nakakapagod eh. Tsaka wala na silang commercial breaks. Di ba tuloy-tuloy yung big matches lang yung may yung piece break mo na, kumbaga yung video hype package na lang nung big matches eh.
Oo.
Which is what? 1 minute and a half, 2 minutes lang, di ba? So,
3 minutes.
3 minutes, pinakamatagal, like for the main event. Pero, ayun nga, I think nag-click yung 2 days ng New Japan eh, lalo nga sa pandemic.
Dahil din doon, nagsunod na rin ng WrestleMania, di ba?
Oh, actually, makes sense eh. Kasi, imagine mo, papagurin mo pa yung mga tao na gano'n.
6 hours?
6 hours na main, ano pa lang. 5 hours actually yung main show. 2 hours na, kick-off. Kasi sa New Japan, gano'n din eh. Magsa-start yung broadcast at 3. May match doon, yung Rumble. Tapos hanggang ano na yun? Hanggang 9 na. Alas 8 hanggang 9 na, 5 hours. Kasi yung sa New Japan kasi, kaya nila i-condense. Kasi wala sila masyadong filler. Tapos yung karamihan ng matches is also not that long. Pero not as short as WrestleMania rin kasi. Kasi usually Wrestle Kingdom cards na one night show, ang pinakamarami I think is 9 or 10. Pero they now have emphasis on 9 nata or 8, which is the sweet spot kasi main event lagi will get the longest time. Tapos, ano pa bang, natin? Oh, yung Mox and Kenta.
Wait. Speaking of that. Paalala ko, pre-recorded na to nabasa ko, pre-recorded na to.
May result na?
Yeah. Walang spoiler, syempre.
Spoil mo na lang ako. Send mo yung link.
Sige,
send mo sa Facebook.
Hanapin ko ulit. Pero feeling ko, pagka, anong fate na, anong fate na, feeling mo?
Fate na feeling ko, without reading the spoilers without me, hindi ko pa nabasa. Kasi with, the problem kasi is, I think, gusto ng tao is magkaroon ng partnership AEW in New Japan. Pero feeling ko ayaw pa rin ni Sugabayashi, which is the chairman, who is the chairman, and si Kidani.
Yes.
I'm not sure, it's Kidani ata who is the owner, the chairman, and then Sugabayashi is the president ata ng yung company, I forgot ng may-ari ng New Japan, sorry.
Sige.
Pero, I think they're still against working with the elite kasi with how their failed attempt at the Western expansion ng una kasi dapat the elite was supposed to be the ones who will carry that. So, I doubt na si Moxley, well, there's a creeping fact na mag-retain siya kasi Wrestle Kingdom, we didn't expect him to retain kasi he was going back to the US, di ba? Pero ngayon kasi I think it's a special exception yung sa contract niya na he can't wrestle for another company in the States. Pero, I think Kenta is actually being positioned as the big bad guy ng New Japan Strong. So, I think it makes sense without reading the spoilers, hindi ko pa alam kung sino na. Now, in my mind, it can't dapat. Kasi he was the de facto US champion kasi he was defending na eh. Diba? So, ayun yung akin. Parang
Max.
time to kasi I think ang end goal dito is to elevate a certain young lion sa States into a threat. Kasi I think they're pushing Carl Fredericks na and they're grooming him eh. So I think that's the story as well. So, ikaw, Angelo, sino tingin mo? At hanapin ko yung spoilers.
Sige, nabi mo muna. So, sa akin, feeling ko, di ba, ito yata yung magde-debut, yung New Japan, US, sa TV ata. Ito ata yung gagawin nila na first. Pero feeling ko, if gagawin exclusive ng AW si Max, baka ibigay nila yung title kay Genta. If iaalaw naman ng AEW na mag-compete pa rin siya, well, retain.
Pero kasi yung alam ko yung independent contract ni Moxley kasi talaga for Japan lang.
Pan-Japan lang. Kasi nag-compete din siya sa di ba? Yung sa collective before, GCW ata yan? Yun yata yung
Pero I
last.
think it's a one-off lang eh.
Yun din ata yung last niya.
Naghanap na ako ng spoilers, hindi ko mahanap ah. Ano na-record? Na-record na yung match? Alam ko kasi tape to, di ba?
Tape nga to, alam ko.
Kasi usually, ang may show pa sila, nasa Japan na, nasa US pa rin yung...
Para lang siyang yung AW... wait lang. Para siyang NXT UK.
Before. Tsaka NXT before. Na recorded.
Isang buwan na sila magre-record doon. Ay, isang buwan.
So, ayun. Di ko
1
pa rin
week.
mahanap.
I think this episode is the longest episode.
Kasi madaldal ako.
Tsaka mahaba pa yung akin. Yung iiwanan ko sa akin. Bago kitang ilisan. Mahaba pa tong sa akin. Kasi I'm going to repeat Sige. So, plug ka na.
Plug na ako. Okay, so guys, follow me at Albertizzi on Instagram. The Wrestling After Work podcast is on Spotify. Like na rin yung Facebook page namin. Listen to our 2 shows, yung the Wrestling After Work podcast and the Eastside Beatdown show with me and Abel and sila Angelo and Carlos and Abel dun sa main show. And then also plug ko na rin yung toy stores sa Green Hills, yung personal ko Choopsville Hype Base, which doon ako nagre-rent, owned by my friend. And also yung isa pa namin friend, yung shop niya, which is X-Play Collectibles. And also for yung picture ko sa Facebook, if it's for a good cause, if you want a Rick and Morty drawing, you can contact at Unicorn. I'll send Angelo the spelling para makontak niya siya on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So, ayun lang.
So yun, that's it. Derb, thank you sa ulitin.
Thank you sobra. Thank you for having me.
Mag-invade na rin ako dyan. Sige lang.
Okay, thank you. Next time. Guys, abangan niyo si Angelo sa Wrestling Afterwards. We're gonna have an episode today.
So for now, we're going for a commercial break and then pabalik tayo for alam mo na, yung typical na The MTV Show Podcast. Wait lang, mag-set up lang ako. Okay, I'm back. So, una-una thank you kay Derb of Wrestling After Work for guesting on this show. Sa malaking karangalan na makasama yung isa sa mga members ng Wrestling After Work here in the MTV Show Podcast. Siguro, tutuloy ko ng invasion. Tutuloy ko ng invasion sa Wrestling After Work pagka meron na tayong oras for that things. So, for now, para sa mga nag-shopping pa din dyan, hindi pa tapos ang 2-2 hanggang 4 pa yan. So, bukas, baka makaabot ka pa. So, Lazada is still having the Women's Festival na ongoing pa din. If marirelease pa to, maaabot pa tong episode na to sa February 4. So, you can click my link tinyurl.com/TMTGSP Lazada PH2. Nasabog na ako, pasensya na. Sobrang na-intense lang ako ng konti. So tinyurl.com/TMTGSPX Lazada PH2. And then Podmetrics. Sa mga nagpa-Podmetrics dyan at may mga podcast na siguro gusto nyo magkaroon ng pagkakakitaan, paano kami nakikipag-collab sa mga brands. So, we use Podmetrics, the easiest way to monetize your podcast. If meron kang podcast, you can sign up now at podmetrics.co and use my code DMTGShowPod to get full access on how you monetize your show regarding of its size. Again, that's sign up now at podmetrics.co and use my code DMTGShowPod. That's THEMTGHSHOWPOD. If you're an advertiser who wants to collab with us, especially Podmetrics, head on over to advertiser.podmetrics.co and fill up the form. Again, that's Podmetrics, the easiest way to monetize your podcast. So, again, also, promote na rin natin. So, total, meron na rin naman sigurong dadalhin dito sa bahay. Baka nga, may dadalhin ulit. Wait lang. Baka may madadalhin ulit. O may dadalhin kayo, syempre naman. And naghahanap kayo ng platform na mura. Same day din. Na buti na lang na-realize ko andyan na si Mr. Speedy to help us for that stuff. So get 50 pesos off when you place your first delivery with Mr. Speedy when you use my code Mr. Speedy XTMTGSP. Again, that's Mr. Speedy XTMTGSP. All caps. Pwede kayo mag-book via their website mrspeedy.ph or download their app from the App Store, Google Play Store, and the Huawei App Gallery. The Mr. Speedy is available in Metro Manila, nearby provinces, and on Cebu. So, pretty much it. That's it for commercial breaks. And let's move on to our regular programming. So, obviously, sobrang haba ng review namin ni Derb for the Royal Rumble. So, I'm not going to give my thoughts anymore. Andun na rin yung thoughts ko. Siguro, dadagdagan ko na lang sa final fate natin, final review. So, let's move on to Impact. So, konti na lang to. So, Impact this week is basically a show pa din. May AEW stuff pa din. Hindi na siya ganong nagkiklik sa akin dahil medyo hindi na ako nagagandaan sa product ng AEW. Ang inabangan ko lang talaga dito is yung tag match between Rich Swann and Tommy Dreamer versus Moose and Chris Bay. So, Moose pinned the world champion. Hawak-hawak niya yung 2 belts. And ibig sabihin nun, feeling ko, pwede na makonsider na big threat talaga dito si Moose for the title reign ni Rich Swann for the title. Parang malaking threat siya talaga for the Impact World Championship. Yung trato nila dito. And I love how they booked Moose kumpara doon sa ibang matches na binubook nila right now. And then, ano pa ba pwede natin i-point out dito? Point out ka na rin na napakaraming updates, especially sa Violent of Design na baka mag-adapt ulit sila ng member. And then, ano pa ba? Yung sa women's tag team titles, basically medyo interesting pa yung nangyayari on that title spot. And then, yung ano ba? Wala na akong maalala for Impact. Basta abangan nyo next week pag medyo maayos na yung programming natin. Medyo sabog lang ako ngayon. Pasensya na. So, let's move on to Dynamite and NXT. So, isa lang ang napanood ko ng buo sa Dynamite. I love Red Velvet's promo. No doubt about that, guys. Sobrang solid nung part dyan ni Red Velvet na paikot-ikot pa yung niya. And sa sobrang solid nung promo na yun ni Red Velvet, akalain mo, pati yung mga K-pop fans ng Red Velvet, naku-confused din. Natatawa nga ako na pati yung mga pages na Red Velvet related ay napapost din dahil kay Red Velvet na to ng AEW. Medyo I love Red Velvet right now, pero nakikita ko pa lang din yung build up for Revolution. Titignan pa rin natin kung ano yung nangyayari for that Revolution event. And siguro, sana lang maging interesting yung outcome sa akin. And especially Cody pa naman. Parang mas gusto ko pa tuloy yung singles match lang talaga. Hindi yung sasama mo pa si Cody in the mix just to be relevant. Parang dating sa akin, it doesn't make sense. Parang ganun. Oo, parang ganun dating sa akin. And then, ano pa ba? Parang ang weirdo rin ang dating sa akin noong pagpasok nila Jericho and MJF sa tag team division. Kasi di ko pa matanggap na sila na yung tag team ng Inner Circle. Nag-uumpisa na yung dissension sa Inner Circle. Nag-uumpisa na yung maliit, palaki yung dissension. Baka doon na mag-lead yung Revolution match between Jericho and MJF na iniisip ko since November pa. Baka doon sila mag-lead. And then, ano pa ba yung pwede natin pag-usapan? So, meron na pong announced match for the tournament for the Women's Championship match. That's Serena Deeb versus Riho. Riho is back on AEW and inaabangan ko baka nga maging interesting yung comeback na yun ni Riho. And yun, pretty much it. That's it for my AEW review. Napaka-random na. So NXT, basically they are building up the Dusty Cup, both women's and men's. Di ko muna i-explain ng buo kasi medyo di pa ako nakapanood ng NXT this week. Basta ang prediction ko na lang for the finals is MSK versus GYB or GYB versus wait lang. Ciampa and Thatcher versus MSK. Ganun. Basta ganun yung outcome. Parang ganun yung nakikita kong outcome for that Dusty Cup. And then sa women's, di ko pa nakikita yung bracket. Pasensya na. Pero sure ko baka manalo dyan sila, no? If they want to dominate the way, parang feeling ko it's either Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae o kaya sila Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez since mas malaking threat sila ngayon sa Dusty Cup Women's. And also na-official na rin for TakeOver 33 yung triple threat match between Io Shirai, Toni Storm, and Mercedes Martinez for the NXT Women's Championship. Pretty much it. Medyo ang ganda ng story pero ang random pa ng spots so far. Abangan na natin yung build up for the TakeOver kasi 2 weeks na lang. Then yun, pretty much it for NXT. And then yung UK naman, in the other hand, interesting sa akin kung sino yung naging number 1 contender. Di ko pa napanood ulit. I'm going to watch it and then I'm going to give you some updates for my reactions na lang. Pero di ko pa napapanood yung sa NXT UK. But I love NXT UK so far. Yan. Basically, yun na yun. And then, my final thoughts for Raw and SmackDown since medyo di ko sinama yung review ng Raw and SmackDown here in the review, yung before Royal Rumble. And after, baka mag-summary ako ng konti. So, I love Sheamus' turn on Drew McIntyre. I love din yung pasok ni... Gusto ko din yung pasok ni... nakalimutan ko kasi, no? Ni Damian Priest. I love din. Gusto ko rin yung pasok niya dito sa Pro. And yung main event between Edge and Orton, I love that match. Kahit maikli, I love the moment na pinapasok pa rin si The Fiend in the storyline. I love that shit so far in the storyline. Pero may direction to pamimilya. Sinabi na namin kanina sa review kung ano yung magiging possible reactions ko for that WrestleMania. And then, so basically that's it for my wrestling news of the week. And then yung review namin kanina. Babonus ko na lang is yung Lars Sullivan is now released by WWE. Okay, wala na akong kay Lars Sullivan. So basically that's it for that episode. So I'm going to give my review na lang, my ratings for the whole pay-per-view event. So let's start with itong review na to is based on my own opinion na lang. Hindi ko na isasama yung kay Derb. So, first is the Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg. May sense siya konti, oo. Pero, match-wise, 2 out of 5. Medyo maikli. Nabitan ako. So, SmackDown Women's Championship. That's 3 out of 5. Not bad. Maganda pa din yung pinapakita ni Carmella here in this match. The Women's Royal Rumble is 4 out of 5. Maganda yung execution. Maganda yung match. Hindi rin ganong maraming pakulo. Hindi siya yung sobrang daming pakulo. I love that part. 4 out of 5. And then the Universal Heavyweight Championship, that's 3. 3 to 5. And then the Men's Royal Rumble, I think that's 3 out of 5. Medyo nakulangan lang ako sa Men's Royal Rumble. Medyo may kulang lang talaga sa akin. Kaya 3 lang. Medyo nabitin ako sa mga surprises na sinasabi nila before. And yung ina-expect ko na surprises, medyo hindi nangyari yun. Konti lang na. So, and then yung sa New Beginning in Nagoya, yung kay Shingo Takagi, tsaka kay, Hiroshi Tanahashi for the Never Openweight Championship. That's 5 over 5. I love that match. Hindi ako masyadong sobrang expect na long match kasi typical na sa Never yun na hindi hindi mahaba. Pero sobrang nag-expect ako, sobrang haba nitong laban, 35 minutes. Classic match, napaka-solid and wala akong masabi, sobra. Solid nito, basta solid nitong match na to. And yun, that's it for my ratings. And then, yun na lang sa match of the week. I'm going to give my match of the week. So, my match of the week is obviously Shingo Takagi versus Hiroshi Tanahashi doon sa The New Beginning in Nagoya. Panoorin niyo yung match na yun. Promise, ma-appreciate niyo yung Never Openweight Championship. And then, sa WWE Royal Rumble, yung match of the week, match ko siguro dito, mas maganda yung Women's Championship. Yun na yung pwede kong ibigay. Yung Royal Rumble, medyo mahaba yun na panoorin. Yung SmackDown Women's Championship, hindi na siya masama para sa match. Honorable mention ko na to. So, sobrang solid nung women's title match. Both of them are improving. Pero, yun, solid talaga. Yung Women's Royal Rumble, bibigyan ko ng mention yon dahil sobrang solid nung kay Billie Kay dito. Tsaka yung ibang spots. Maganda yung call sa Women's Royal Rumble sa dulo. Sa men's naman, in the other hand, medyo nag-expect ako pero ayoko na mag-expect ng accurate results. And so that's it. So superstar of the week, I'm going to explain my superstar of the week a little bit. So ito yung rankings. Number 3 si Roman Reigns, number 2 si Christian, number 1 si Edge. Sa women's naman is number 3 si Billie Kay, number 2 si Rhea Ripley, and number 1 si Bianca Belair. So basically, ang pinagbasihan ko lang nito is Royal Rumble lang, obviously, itself. And ang punto ko lang, ibibigay ko na lang kay Edge and kay Bianca Belair. So, basically, Edge, sabihin na natin na Hall of Fame siya, at the age of 47, he can still compete. Pero, tandaan nyo lang lagi na despite the fact na he is a Hall of Fame, hindi siya Goldberg. Don't compare Edge to Goldberg kasi napakalaking difference po nun. Malaki ang pagkakaiba ni Edge kay Goldberg. Pero ako, 50-50 talaga ako dito. Ever since 50-50 ako. Kasi ayoko ng part-timer na nagro-Royal Rumble win and then papaput over. Not a fan of that thing. Pero sige, tignan natin. Ang prediction ko na lang, I think, is if Edge versus Roman Reigns, I think Roman will win. If Edge versus McIntyre, I think McIntyre will retain. And then, if triple threat between Orton, McIntyre, and Edge, I think that's Edge. Yun, that's it. And then, may Team Song Tuesdays. So, Team Song Tuesdays natin, pasensya na wala tayo nun last week. Instead, we used yung sa smarthenry.com na link noong Team Song Tuesdays natin. So, ngayon, week na to, I use Jungle Boys Team Song kasi medyo nagkakat sa akin yung song na yun ni Jungle Boy. And I love that song daw. Yung song na yun is galing ata sa Tarzan, I think. Sobrang bagay kay Jungle Boy yun. Wala na ibang dahilan para ayawan mo yung kanta. Basta solid talaga. So pretty much it for today's episode. Follow the MTG Show podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Anchor, and on the MTG Show podcast app and other platforms. Also, follow Wrestling After Work on their social media platforms, on Spotify, Anchor, and other platforms. Sa mga napapakinggan nyo rin sa mga podcast, like my podcast. And then, follow all of their social media platforms. At saka kay Derb din, minention nyo na kanina. And sa akin naman, syempre, follow the social media platforms of the MTG Show podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Our Discord chat is still there. Yung sa Geeky Ones na sinabi na rin kanina, and sa Wrestling After Work na mention na rin namin kanina. And then, yun, pretty much it for today's episode. In behalf of Derb of Wrestling After Work, MTG now signing off. Stay safe, stay Russell. See you on the next episode.